Alright, Shalom, Shalom, it's the Brother Kadash.
Shalom, Mr. Brother Kuna.
We're going to start off by giving our praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash.
It's kind of like a little rainy day, so we don't want to mess up our Bibles. We're just going to go off the phones pretty much. This week is Revelation chapter 10, next in line. Revelation chapter 10 breakdown. What I noticed about doing the breakdowns is it's really edifying. It's not like you're really teaching all of it, because these breakdowns kind of touch on pretty much everything what the good gospel is about. So it's actually a good thing that we're doing the breakdowns of the Bible, you know. I went to a funeral over the weekend, and I seen there was a lot of what they call them, pastors in there, and the bishops, they call themselves bishops. They have bishops written on their garment. But one of the things that I did like that I seen about them, because it was like a black church, right? One of the things I did like was that they actually had fringes. So I was looking, I was like, okay.
Oh, they did have fringes on?
Yeah, I was like, okay, they had their garments on, they had their fringes, but they had, like, you know, where it's tied and everything. But
did they have the border of blue around, or they
ain't had a border of blue though?
Right.
But they did have the fringes. And one of the things I didn't like, of course, they was giving all praises in Jesus Christ's name. Yeah, you know, so they was trying to have you.
And then a lot of those churches still don't believe that the law, that we under the law. So they wouldn't, like, so it makes sense why they have the fringes on, but not the border of blue around it.
Yeah, because I did see some pictures of people eating crab legs and stuff like that. I'm like, these, I mean, they were elder men, you know, they got some type of wisdom and knowledge. They ain't just dummies out here. We ain't gonna never say that.
Right.
They were older men, they had their beards on their face, they got wisdom and knowledge, they knew the Bible, they was quoting scriptures, reading scriptures, but they wasn't coming with the truth of the Lord though. And that's what it's about, man. And that's what a lot of people can't see. So that's what we're doing. We coming out here, we're breaking down what the Bible means. Some of the precepts that they was pulling, of course it was a funeral, but you could tell that they're aimed more at like just healing stuff, good words and things like that. But they was getting into the book of Job and everything. So I give them a little bit of credit, but you got to come with, and this is what Revelation 10 is going to talk about. You got to eat the whole road. You got to eat up the book. You can't just teach certain parts. You got to be able to teach the whole thing and break down the sweet and the bitter. And this is what Revelation 10 is going to come talk about. That's why I'm saying, like, it's actually good to do these breakdowns, because sometimes you breaking down a chapter, but you get understanding kind of on everything. You know, just through breaking down chapters.
I got something to say too. Last week when we was doing camp, I had made a statement about when the you know, when all hell breaks loose and the Edomites of the other nation, right? The Edomites, not the Edomites of the other nations, so lucky for that, but when the Edomites, the ones that's gonna get perished, right, and the ones that's not gonna get taken into slavery, I had said that it ain't gonna be no reincarnation for y'all, and I went off right there, right? I believe I went off, but when I said that, I believe that once they perish in the destruction, the ones that's left is the ones that's gonna just serve out their slavery. But I believe now from watching a video that they will come back, right?
Yeah, it's the context. You wasn't off. It's just the context. The context was after their slaughter, like Obadiah chapter 1. After all of them were slaughtered, of course they're not going to come back, because they're all going to be slaughtered. But that happens after their captivity. So they're going to be reincarnated. If they get killed right now in Mystery Babylon, they're going to be reincarnated into slavery in the kingdom. And then that could go for generations and generations and generations. For 1,000 years, they could be reincarnated back into slavery until they all pretty much get slaughtered and they all
and that's where I went off at, because I said that they wasn't. If they perish, the ones that didn't perish is just going to be the ones that makes up the slavery in the kingdom. But they, as the brother just said, they will be reincarnated into slavery, so they can serve out their sentence.
Yeah, you just had it mixed up. It's not all the way off. You just had it mixed up. They not going to come back once they all are cut off.
Right.
But if they die on this side, they will come back in the kingdom of slaves. That will happen. So yeah, they're going to be reincarnated, and then at a point in time, they're not going to be reincarnated no more. So I mean, that's what these breakdowns is for, you know? And
I just want to leave that hanging, and then have a brother see that, and then think that, you know, because I want to clear it all up, because we out here to get the truth.
Well, that's the great thing. Like you said, we're out here to get the truth. You ain't being prideful. You're not being like, oh, I can't be corrected, or I slipped up and said something. So you're showing a great example to brothers coming in the truth. This thing ain't about you. You know what I mean? Like he said, this thing is about the truth.
Exactly.
So you're going out there and you're being a vessel for the Lord to spread the truth. That's what it's about. It's not about you looking good. You might slip up because you're only a human. You're in the flesh. You might slip up and say something wrong. We all do. I do. Everybody do. But you got to be able to correct it for the sake of the truth, you know, because it ain't about us. It's about the truth. So that's good. That's edifying.
Okay, this Revelation 10 start at the top, verse 1.
Yep.
And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head.
Right. So leave it there, right?
Right.
So a mighty angel came down clothed with a cloud. So now, let me find a precept. Now we know that when it talks about the clouds in the Bible, which we're going to prove, right? It's speaking about what you call a spaceship. You might call it a UFO, or unidentified flying object, but it's the chariots of the Lord. So the angel is coming down inside of the chariot. Now to even go even further, they call them clouds sometimes because when the prophets would see them, they would see a cloud, but behind that cloud there would be a UFO in it, which you would call a spaceship, a chariot, aka a UFO. It would be in the cloud, but sometimes you couldn't always see the chariot. Sometimes you will only see the cloud. So they cloak themselves in the cloud. If you cloak yourself in something, what does that mean? Like, I'm cloaked in my garment. That means you can't see my chest underneath because I'm cloaked in it. So if it's cloaked, if the chariot is cloaked in the cloud, you can't really see the chariot is coming in the cloud. Watch that movie. What's that movie called?
Nope.
Yeah, watch that movie Nope. That movie Nope gives you the perfect example of a UFO that's hunting them that's inside of a cloud, right? And then the UFO takes up, like they set a trap for the UFO with a horse, and the horse had like a wire on it. And then the UFO took up the horse, but the wire was hanging out. So whenever they see this cloud, they'd see the wire hanging out of it, and they'd know that that's the UFO, and they'd look up and they'd be like, nope. Or they'd see a cloud, and the cloud, all the other clouds would be moving, but this one cloud would not be moving. But they wouldn't see the UFO because it'd be in the cloud, and then it'd come out the cloud, then they'd see it. So that kind of gives you the perfect example that it's talking about a chariot that's cloaked inside of a cloud. And the angel is inside of the chariot even more.
And a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun.
Yep. So,
and his feet as pillars of fire.
Right, because you're talking about what you call spaceship, but you're talking about wisdom and knowledge. When it says your face is like of the sun,
right,
it's like talking about you got that glow on you, you got that wisdom and knowledge. This is Revelations 1 verse 7. It says, behold it, he cometh with clouds. So we know the Lord's not coming back with just vapor and mist. It says he coming with clouds, and there's plenty of precepts that talk about the Lord coming back with the mighty angels. Matthew 24, kind of like starting at verse 31, talks about, get that, yeah, Matthew 24, 31. Finish Revelation 1:7. And every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall well because of him. Even so, amen. You kind of see that like in Independence Day. Every eye is going to see these chariots, these UFOs come down. Got that.
You said Matthew 24, 34.
Start that. I got another precept right here. This is Acts chapter 1, verse 9. It says, and when he had spoken these things, while they behold, he was taken up, and the cloud received him out of their sight. So he didn't just go into the cloud, right? But it was a spaceship inside of the cloud. This is biblical. This is in the Bible. We're reading it straight from the Bible, man. So he went up, and like Zechariah 5, he said, look, he's seen a flying road. What would be a flying road during his time where there was no helicopters, no plane? What would be something that's in the sky that he's giving you? This is Zechariah chapter 5, that he's giving you the dimensions of that's flying, and the angel comes down from it. That's what you call that today, a spaceship or like a UFO. You could read Ezekiel 1 where it talks about the gigantic chariot coming out of the cloud, out of the fire. It's the same thing, man. It's talking about UFOs. They have always been here throughout history.
Matthew 24 verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
Right, so you got to think about that. You got to put that into perspective. So you have the Lord coming back with clouds. Now Matthew 24 say he's coming back with his angels, because his angels are those clouds. But how are they going to go and gather his elect, his people from all over the earth? Is angels just going to come down and grab you up in their arms and take the elect up? No, they're coming down in spaceships and they're going to take the elect up. They're going to beam them up. They're going to take them up into the spaceships, kind of like you got a plane. If a plane come down, passengers get on the plane and then they take them somewhere. So they're going to come down, take the elect up, save them from the destruction, and then take them to Israel, Jerusalem, the Holy Land, the kingdom. And that's what it talks about in it came down the one way. That's what it talks about in Revelation 21. And look, there are police right there. That's what it talks about in Revelation chapter 1, when it's clearly talking about, well, 21, when John said, look, he see New Jerusalem coming down. They coming down from that salvation, from those chariots. They coming down to inherit the earth, man. Let me finish up on Acts 1. Acts 1, verse 9 again. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly towards heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Gilead, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which was taken up from you into heaven, should come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Because the same way he went up into those chariots, just like in Revelation 1, verse 7, he's going to come down, he's going to come back with those chariots and come down. Because it says, it's in Revelation 21, it says he's going to dwell with the elect. He's going to dwell with Israel in the kingdom, man. He's going to be the temple. There's going to be no need for the temple. There's going to be no need for a sun and a moon, because we're going to get that wisdom and knowledge directly from the Lord, because he's going to dwell with us.
Matthew 24, verse 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree.
Oh, no, go back.
Okay, you just wanted that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Revelation 10, verse 2. And he had in his hand a little book open. And he set his right foot upon the sea and his left foot on the earth. And cried with a loud voice as when a lion roars.
Let me see. Go back to right there.
Talk about the rainbow.
Yeah, we're going to read verse 1 again, because I wanted to get a little bit more, and I kind of skipped past it.
Okay, Revelation 10, verse 1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face were as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire.
Right, so I'm trying to break it down. That's why we went back to verse 1, so we ain't skipping over nothing, so we can break it down. Because you might say, hey, but what about his feet being pillars of fire? Right, so the angels, it literally are like spirits. And the Lord say they are like spirits of fire, right? So this is, just to give you a quick precept on it so you can break it down. Psalms 104, verse 4, it says, no, verse 3, it says, Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the water? Who maketh the clouds his chariots, right? So this is going more on the clouds, his chariots. What are those clouds? They're chariots. What's chariot? Chariot mean wheel vehicle. So they're vehicles, they're spaceships, right. UFOs. It says, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. He's not literally just sitting up there walking on wind, man. Not saying that's not possible, but the chariots are flying. They're hovering. They're hovering up there, man. As you see, like they kind of put in the movies. Verse 4, it says, Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers of flaming fire. So the angels are like, they're spirits, like spirits of fire. Burning fire, man. That's why when you get to Moses, he's seen a burning bush, you know. So the angels are like spirits, but they're like spirits of fire, you know. Let's keep going.
Verse 2. Oh, okay. Jumping back to verse 3. And cried with a loud voice as when a lion roars, and when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices.
Right. So we know the Lord is the Lion of Judah. He's coming back. Now these 7 thunders, it's just talking. It speaks about it. Get Revelations 1. Starting at verse 14, it's speaking about the 7 angels. You hear me?
Yeah.
Revelations 1, starting at verse 14. Yeah. So now it's talking about 7 angels. It's talking about the Lord's voice. The Lord's voice is uttering, but the Lord utters his voice through what? His messengers. What does angel mean? Angel means messenger. So it's the 7 angels that's the Lord's voice is coming through, uttering through the 7 angels, the 7 thunders. I'll read that.
Revelations 1, verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Keep going. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn into a furnace, and his voice as sound of many waters.
See, the Lord's voice is like the sound of many waters. Same thing, you get the same effect, the sound of many waters, the sound of thunders.
Right.
It's just saying the Lord, great voice, which is going to come down by his angels.
Verse 16. And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp two-edged sword, and his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength.
And so it's talking about the sun again, your countenance as the sun, wisdom and knowledge. It's talking about his voice like a two-edged sword with like thunder.
Right. Verse 17. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. And he laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, Fear not, I am the first and the last.
Right there,
verse 20. Yeah. Verse 20. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches.
So the 7 stars, the angels, 7 stars. Now we know 7 is just the number of completion. It's not talking about just 7. It's just mean complete number. You know?
Right.
Let's
back to 10.
Yep.
Back to 10, verse 4. Yeah, verse 4. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not.
Right, because during this time, which I'm going to get a precept, even before this time, you know, the truth was kind of like sealed up, right? But now we're starting to learn and we're starting to understand it. You know, and it's going to speak about that. We ain't going to jump the gun, but it's going to speak about that. But the truth was kind of sealed up. Get Daniel 12. It speaks about it. Sorry. Yeah, Daniel chapter 12.
What verse?
Starting at verse 1.
The top?
Yeah.
Okay, this Daniel 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation.
That's what about to happen right now. Jacob's trouble.
Even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Yep, that's happening right now. Keep going.
Verse 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Right, even to the time of the end. We're at the time of the end. So during the time of Daniel, it was sealed up. People could read the Bible. You have pastors and preachers, but they didn't have the true understanding. But when this whole Hebrew Israelite thing came, it would signal us waking up, which also signals the end, because it tells you about that in Matthew 24, when this gospel is preached throughout the whole world, then the end should come, right? Then brothers start waking up to the knowledge through the Spirit and start understanding the Bible. That's what it's talking about. Keep going in Revelation 10.
Verse 5. Revelation 10, verse 5. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hands to heaven. And swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth, and the things that are therein, that therein are, and the sea, and the things which are therein, that there should be no time, Salaki, that there shall be time no longer.
What's up, my brother?
What's going on, y'all? What up, bro?
Just out here teaching the truth. Say what's up, man.
Verse 7. Keep going. But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God should be finished, as he hath declared to his servants the prophets.
Declared to his servants the prophets. So the prophets go out there and teach, man. That's our job, is to go out there to prophesy. You know, but the Lord does it through, he brings message down from the angels, to the man of the Lord here. Let me see if I got a precept. To the prophets, and the prophets give it to the people. That's how it works. Let me see. This is Revelation chapter 1. Once again, it says the revelations of Yahushua Mashiach, which God gave unto him to show unto his servant, right, the prophets, things which must shortly come to pass. That means he's going to prophesy about these things. And he sent and signified it by his angel. So he sent it by what? His angel. So the Lord gave the message to his messenger, his angel. The angel gave it to his prophets. And his prophets prophesied to the people, right? And his angel and to his servant John, which is a prophet. That's how it works, man. He's breaking it all down. Keep going, man.
Revelation 10 verse 8. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth.
Right, so you got to take this little book and eat it up. Keep going.
And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up.
Right,
and it shall.
Right there. So you got to take it and eat it up. But what is eating it up? Is eating the Bible up just mean that you're just reading it? No, it meaning that you're learning it. You're learning the wisdom, the knowledge, the discernment. You're following it. You're eating it up. When you eat it up, when you eat something, what do you do after you eat it? You have to digest it. So you can't just eat it and spit it back up. You can't just read it and not remember it and forget it. You have to digest it too, man. You actually got to learn it and start living by it. You have to be a Jew inwardly, like it says in Romans chapter 2. This is a precept. This is Ezekiel chapter 3. So just like it said in Daniel chapter 12, it was sealed up, and then it says wisdom and knowledge should increase during the end times. Why? Because we're taking the book and we're eating it up. This is Ezekiel 3 verse 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest. Eat this roll and go speak into the house of Israel. So you're not literally eating the Bible, like eating the papers out the Bible and then going to go speak. When it says eat, it means learn. Get the wisdom and knowledge, and then you go and speak what you learn. Yep. It says, and go into the house of Israel. No, go to the house of everybody. We prophesy for front of all nations because we got to prophesy the judgment that's coming to them. But really, it's for our people to wake up to know that we are the 12 tribes of Israel, Slaki, you know, and we got to wake up, follow our Lord, keep the law, statutes, commandments to the best of our ability, have faith in our Lord, and believe on those names, Yahweh and Yahushua. Right? It says, so I opened my mouth and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, because you got to digest it, and fill thy balls with this roll that I will give thee. Then I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness, right? Because in your mouth, it's sweet when you hear about we going to get the kingdom, we going to get this, we going to get that, we going to be kings and priests on the earth, or Lord going to come back and save us and be with us. But then this part happens. It says, and he said unto me, Son of man, go eat into the house of Israel and speak with the words unto them. Right? Yeah, let's stop right there and get back into Revelation. Yep.
Okay. This Revelation, continue in Revelation 10 verse 9. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. It's like verse 10. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey, and as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter.
Right. So then you get the bitter part. So this is how you break down the Bible. We just read about that same thing in Ezekiel 3, precept upon precept. The Bible kind of explains itself, but the Lord has to give you the spirit to be able to understand it and break it down. And he sent his prophets out here to be able to break it down so that you could understand it and you could send the message and break it down, you know. Get Jeremiah 30 verse 7. So we gonna give you something that's sweet, right? So he said in his mouth it was sweet, right? So we gonna give you something that would be considered the sweet part of the Bible, right? We're gonna give you an actual example. This is Revelation 21 verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth was passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. That's sweet. I remember when I got in the Bible, I started learning that. I'm like, damn, okay, so that's us. That's the elect. After they been saved, they coming down to inherit the earth and set up kingdom.
With the Lord?
With the Lord. I'm like, ooh, that's sweet, right? It says, and I, John, saw the Holy, see that. It says, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. I'm like, what? You talking about the God of the universe? The God that created earth? It's going, because Colossians 1, Yahweh created Yahweh Shai, and then everything else was created by Yahweh Shai. That's Colossians chapter 1. I'm like, he going to be with us? A great power like that? So you know we going to have the chariots. You know we going to have all the wealth of the earth, the gold, the silver, the diamonds, the woman, the children, you know, the mansions, the palaces. If the Lord is going to be dwelling with us, that was very sweet, right? I don't know why my phone keeps locking so far. I'm like, man, that's sweet, right? This is verse 4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Wait, so we ain't going to be in bondage no more, in slavery? You know, it says, and there should be no more death, neither sorrow. Wait, we ain't going to die no more? We going to live forever? How does that even look?
Sweet.
I done seen that in movies, but I'm like, how does that really look in real time? Like, man, we going to be like, you know how you watch vampires, they never die?
Yeah.
So they show it to you in movies.
Hey,
says,
wait, can I say something?
Yeah.
We never gonna die again, but let alone, I mean, in part with us never dying again, we not even gonna age. Like, we ain't gonna get old, wrinkly and shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna have no more losing hair. You know what I'm saying? Everything gonna be back right.
Yep. It says, neither should there be any more pain. I said, man, how are we not gonna have no pain? We ain't gonna have no bad days. We just gonna be in the kingdom, living it up like how they doing in LA. If they could do it in LA, we could do it in the kingdom. So we definitely gonna be living it up, man. It says, and God himself should be with them. And no, I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth. It says, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, like it says in Revelation chapter 1. You know, that's talking about Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I will give unto him that is Antichrist of the fountain of water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. So wait, we gonna inherit all things? Because we joint heirs to the kingdom with the Lord, and we know all things was created by him, so all things belong to him. So all things gonna belong to us too, because we his people. And then it speaks about, what's that in Luke, I think chapter 19, how the Lord gonna give men
Fame.
control. That's Zechariah chapter 3, fame in all lands. So we gonna have the fame. We gonna be the most famous people on the earth, right? And then we gonna have, the Lord said, I should give you authority over 10 cities. Some brothers gonna have authority over 10 cities. Some brothers gonna have 5 cities that they gonna be running, kind of like if you a governor of the city. You got a president that's over him. Of course, we got a king of kings, right? But then you got brothers that's gonna have rulership like a governor or mayor over the city, man.
Hey, I got a precept. This Revelation 21, verse 4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Well, and that goes back into another sweet part.
Yeah, what was that?
Revelations 21.
21 what?
Revelation 21, verse 4. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'll read it out, Revelation 21.
That's true. My bad.
This is Isaiah.
I missed that part.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 61. A precept on it. Verse 1. It says, the Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek, and he has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and opening of the prisons to them that are bound. Right, I'll jump down to verse 3. To appoint to them, which I could have got, verse 2. To proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn. That's the same thing as wiping away the tears. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, the monument of Israel. To give unto them beauty for ashes, oil for joy, oil of joy for mourning, and garments of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called the trees of righteousness, and plenty of the Lord, that he may be glorified. So it's saying the same thing, man. pretty much the Lord gonna take us out of captivity and give us the kingdom, man. And we're gonna be kings and priests upon the earth. You got Jeremiah 30 or something.
Yep.
So now in Revelation chapter 10, it said, look, it was sweet in the mouth. Those are some of the sweet things, right? So we give you an actual example of some of the sweet things when you start to eat this whole row. But then you get into the bitter part of it, like it said in Revelation chapter 10. So now we finna give you the bitter part of it, which is, it's still some sweetness in there too, people.
Jeremiah 30 verse 7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves up
Right there.
of
So
him.
that's still kind of sweet, but it says Jacob's trouble. So then you start hearing about Jacob's trouble. When I got in the truth, I started hearing about Jacob's trouble. I'm like, okay, so what's Jacob's trouble? Then Daniel 12 goes along with it a time like never before. Matthew 24 go along with that. So I'm kind of like, man, it's going to be that bad on earth? I'm like, so what does that look like? I'm like, everybody ain't going to make it because the Lord said many are called, but few are chosen. And then you got the election. So then I'm like, oh, shit. So that means a lot of family members, a lot of people you love, they not going to fucking make it. They going to be dropping dead. And that's very bitter, man. You never know. The Lord could save you in your household, or the Lord could just save you. That could be very bitter for any man, no matter how tough you is, man. Y'all couldn't do what Abraham was about to do with Isaac. A lot of men could not do that. This is Zechariah chapter 13. Y'all couldn't do what the 7 brothers did in 2 Maccabees chapter 7, being skinned to death, whipped, beat one by one, tongues plucked out. Y'all couldn't do that shit. A lot of y'all couldn't do what Yahweh Shai did. Getting up on that cross, being nailed to it, being beat, being betrayed by your own people, and still dying for them after they betrayed you.
Yeah.
Man, that's hard to do.
Walking yourself to that, though. Like,
Man.
you know that that's about to happen.
Yep.
You walking yourself to that.
A lot of motherfuckers be like, man, fuck these people, man.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
These motherfuckers betrayed me. He called down 7 legions of angels, get the fuck up out of there and say, fuck these people, man. But the Lord put that, that's why you got to give all praises to the Lord. Because he put that sacrifice to for us. That's the only way that we're going to make it to the kingdom and be accepted by the Father, is from the sacrifice that Yahweh Shai did, man. You have to give credit to that. That's very important. It will be no us no more if it wasn't for Yahweh Shai. And that's period, man. So a lot of people couldn't do that, man. This is Zechariah chapter 13. We good on that. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 7.
Bro?
How you doing, Elder?
How you doing?
What's going on? We just down here teaching the truth. You know, we teaching our people that we the Hebrew Israelites. We're the Lord's chosen people. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we really just 12 different tribes, but we all come from the same people. We're the Israelites. And we just waking our people up. Once we start knowing that we are Israelites and we the Lord's chosen people, we got to start trying to follow the Lord in the best of our ability. By keeping his law, statutes, commandments, by getting in the Bible, eating the roll, meaning learning it, learning the wisdom and knowledge of the Bible, teaching it to our brothers so we can come together, you know, and follow our Lord. Our Lord name is, the Father name is Yahweh, but you know the Father had a son. His son name is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh means he exists, right? And then Yahweh Shai means he delivers, because the son is the one that's going to come back and save us out of this captivity that we're in.
Yes,
So
sir.
we just want to give our people faith. You got something to say?
Oh, yes. Oh, I listen. Yeah, I heard of before, you know.
Hebrew Israelites?
Yes, sir.
You heard of it?
Yes, sir. I happen to be a Christian religion, you know. I think somehow or other, everybody has some form of religion. I would hope anyway.
You know
some
this?
form of something that they would consider.
The first Christians were the Israelites. Those were the
Yes.
people called Christians. Now we don't look at it so much as religion, Elder. We look at it more like this is a history book for me.
Yes.
So when you ask who were we before slavery, before the transatlantic slave trade, there's
Yes.
really no proof out there.
Yes.
But the proof is in the Bible. This is our history. King David was
Yes.
us. King Solomon was us. Moses was us. So this is giving us our history really all the way back, all the way to the time of Adam, all the way to the beginning. It's a history book for
Yes.
us. So we get in this book and we just learn how to follow our Lord. It's not really religion. We follow it literally.
Yes.
So we following it literally. It's not just something that we believe. It's something that is history, something that's true. That's what it really is. It's just the truth. That's why we call it. It's the truth so much.
Yeah.
You know, so people take the book and they make religion out of it and then make up stories of whatever they want to believe by taking the Bible and kind of twisting it to what they believe. We don't do that. We just go off the truth of the Bible.
Yeah.
And that truth is that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we are the Lord's chosen people. We the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel.
Not the people that's over there in the land right now.
Not the people over there in the land
so-called Jewish
claiming to be that they are. They're not. We are by blood. We come through the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. That's where you get the 12 tribes of Israel from. It's an actual bloodline. It's an actual people. And we're waking our people up that we're those people because we fit the prophecy. We fit the prophecy.
Yes.
Yep. And that's the message. Just keep faith in the Lord.
Yes.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
You have something else for me to get?
Nah, we gotta finish up in Revelations 10. But this is Zechariah 13, verse 7. This is another bitter part, right? So that's all sweet. So I'm not really telling him the bitter parts right off the front, kind of like how Paul did. You kind of just tell them the sweet things, you know, because you want to get them to follow and believe in the Lord. If you come out telling them the bitter thing,
that's what drew me.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you know you a Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, what is that? Well, you know you come through the bloodline of so-called Jesus Christ. I come through the bloodline, so I'm related. Like, yeah, like actually it's his people.
By
Like,
blood.
oh yeah, but that was never taught to us growing up in church.
Right.
You know, that was never taught to us. They just taught us in church. You gotta have faith. You know, the Lord, He gonna come and show
They
you
teach
love.
us that we Gentiles.
Yeah.
That we were Gentiles because we wasn't following the Lord, but by blood we actually Israelites. They don't teach that.
Exactly.
Now, yeah, like the brother said, shit. Now, if you give them just the bitter parts right away, people gonna shy away from that. So that's why he said, look, when he ate it up, it was sweet in his mouth first. You got to give him the sweet parts first, right? And then he said when he digested in his belly, it became bitter. Because then you start to learn about stuff like this. Zechariah 13, verse 7. It says, awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, say the Lord, smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. And I will turn my hand upon a little... What's up, my brother? You came back?
Yeah, man. What are y'all talking
Double
about?
back around. That's what's up. We just teaching the Bible, teaching the truth of the Bible.
Mhm.
You see yourself on this sign, real quick?
You said black Israelites?
Yeah, Hebrew Israelites, because you know black is like a color that was put on us. No, we're not black. You're not black. I'm not black. I'm brown. You're brown. So that was something that was put on us. We're known in the Bible as the Hebrew Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. But as you can see right here, to break it down, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans. Which one you come from, Judah? Negro? Yeah, so Judah, the Negro, this is the same tribe that the Lord, who they call Jesus Christ, he actually came through this tribe. So you got the same blood in your veins. We all do, because we all come from Judah. You got the same blood as the Lord that created the earth.
Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with the idea.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, right on. Thank you.
Yep.
Glad y'all are happy.
Appreciate it, man. Keep that faith. Sometimes brothers just want to hear, you know, you can't throw it on them. You just start breaking it down. They take what they want to take.
Digest.
Yeah, you know, the Lord put the spirit out there. The Lord put the spirit just for him to get a couple seconds of it, and then he drove off.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it takes. He might come back down again. He might go research. He say he kind of familiar with it. So it's a great thing for him to actually see us in person. That's why the Lord said you should see your teachers. The Lord said go out on the highways and byways. So now he probably already been seeing it on the internet, but he had to double back around on us because now he actually see it in his city in person, us out here teaching the truth with the garments and fringes on. Definitely.
So I was gonna say, and that's the significance of this sign, because when he drove past the first time, this caught his eye. This sign caught his eye, and then the brother said something to him, and then I guess he had some dude came back, and when he came back, this what he was focused on, this sign. And that's why the Lord told us to have this.
Yep.
Because it's gonna draw our people near.
Just in case you was wondering, that's why we can explain everything, man. We can explain why we got this. We can explain Numbers 15:38, why we got garments and fringes on. We can explain why we putting it on the internet. Matthew 24, the gospel teach throughout the whole world.
Yes, sir.
By the way, the internet. Yep. So we can teach, we can explain everything, man. That's what the prophets are here to do, man. Let me get back in here. Verse 8, back in Zechariah 13. It says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, say the Lord, 2 ports therein should be cut off and die, and a third should be left therein. So hold up, I'm like, wait, damn, I'm like 2/3 is a majority.
2/3.
I'm like, wait, so I know that the elect is like few, like the majority, the elect is a minority that's gonna be saved. So I'm like, then the majority is gonna be killed. So what's that? 66.6% or something like that of Israel's gonna be killed. Right now, you still got millions of Israelites that's gonna be saved. Now that's the sweet part of it, right? And that's how I always look at it. Like if it's gonna be millions of Israelites saved, I can't be one. I can't get 1 seat. I better get my ass out here and do the do the work, man. I can't get 1 seat, and it's gonna be millions of Israelites saved. Come on, man, you better get out here and do this work. You see what I'm saying? Look, brothers, they better stop playing, man, and get them a seat, get them a crown, right?
They don't believe this. They don't believe, man. They don't believe this shit, bro.
But
They
you wanna
really
know
don't.
what? You wanna know what make them start to believe when they start see them bitter ports happen?
Yeah.
Then everybody start getting scared.
They
You see
hear.
everybody's face.
A lot of them are like, they hear, you know what I'm saying? You know, they be interested in what we saying, right? But they don't really believe.
Yeah.
They don't really believe. I mean, that's my intake on, you know, a lot
You
of
know,
brothers.
some brothers gonna wake up at the last hour. So when that all hell start break loose, then they gonna start to believe because they can see
Yeah.
it. And then you gonna see a lot of more brothers come out here. It talks about a great falling away, but it also talks about a great awakening. There's going to be a great awakening the closer and closer we get to America being destroyed, which is clearly going down the toilet right now. The closer we get to the end, there's going to be a great awakening. And people are going to want to come into the truth because people are going to have answers. What's happening? Why is America on the downturn? Why is America being destroyed? Why are missiles coming to America? Why is there a famine? Why is if gas prices going up so crazy? Why can't we afford anything? Why is it disaster after disaster after disaster? There's never no rest. There's one thing after another thing. Why is the economy collapsing? People are going to want those questions answered, and then they're going to come and the Lord sends his prophets out to answer those questions. Those things are happening in America because the Lord wants to destroy America. Just like he built up Egypt so his name could be glorified when he destroyed it, he built up America so his name could be glorified when he destroys America. You know, we giving all praises to the Lord. That's what we waiting for. The Lord come back to save his people. He gonna put the people that put us in slavery, he gonna put them in slavery. Abraham Lincoln's people are going to slavery for putting the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in slavery, living on stolen land. Remember the Indian Removal Act? When they was forcibly removing Indians from their land? Yeah, there's a punishment for that. The Lord sees that. So there's a punishment coming from that. The same people took us in slavery or going to slavery. That's Revelation 13, starting at verse 7. He that leaves in captivity should go in captivity.
That's right.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Giving all praises to the Lord. We can't wait. It says that's the patience and the faith of the saints, man. Let me go into it. So yeah, Zechariah 13, right? And people laugh now. They laugh. This is so funny. But those laughs are going to be turned upside down. When all hell break loose, when you have famine in America, look at the grid. They're having grid issues. Look up Lake Mead. They're having water issues. So they could laugh right now. But when all hell start to break loose and they lose their money, they lose their house, they lose children, they can't go to the hospital and get help when they get injury, that shit gonna turn to cries, man. So we love this shit. We want them to be smiling, these fucking Edomites to come smiling and laughing right now. We want that. We want you to
because
be...
eventually it's gonna trade faces.
Yeah, we want you to be giggling and shit. Cause we gonna be the ones rejoicing and giggling when this bitch go down, man. And we gonna be coming out here, getting our little food here and there, moving around secretly like a shadow man. And we gonna be seeing their faces, God, why? Why? It says they gonna run to the church. They gonna run to the Catholic church. They gonna run to the Christian church. They gonna run to the Pope. Ain't nobody gonna have no answers but the Lord's chosen people, man. The prophets gonna have the answers. They gonna run down to the Capitol. They gonna run to the governor. Help us. Can you please help us? What is going on? We don't have homes. We don't have water. We don't have electricity. People are dying. They're going to be fucking crying. We're going to be laughing at their ass.
Look at them
because
over
they
there.
laughed at us.
Look at them over there. Where is that England?
What you talking about, Ukraine?
No, where the queen just died at.
Oh, yeah.
And how they was praising her. Like they think that the king got answers. Yeah, they think that the king got answers to the reason why the queen died.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was her time, man. And I mean, shit, he old too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, this shit slowly but surely falling apart.
Yep.
Slowly but surely. All this shit finna come down, just like the brother was saying. You know, and then it's gonna be our turn. Forever and ever.
They think that shit's gonna save them. But they ain't gonna save them, man.
They praise man.
That's why those Edomites was laughing. They was laughing
Oh,
because they hope and they shrink is in, man, this is United States. You know, they came down, took a picture with Abraham Lincoln. That's where they shrink is at. I gotta go take a picture of Abraham Lincoln, they presidents, they country, that's where they shrink lies at. So that's why they laugh and they like, man, this is the greatest nation, this is the strongest nation. They don't understand why are they out here? They don't understand that the Lord is sending his prophets out here before he destroys them. So they don't want to hear it. Now, if we was a white, a 70-year-old, 60-year-old white pastor, preacher up here not coming out the Bible and was just up here talking about our hearts and God loves America, they would have stand around, they would have asked questions, they would have got to putting their hand up to the sky, talking about they getting the ghost on them. But they gonna get a ghost. They gonna take up the ghost. That's what they gonna do. They gonna give up the ghost. That's what's gonna happen, right? Let me finish right here.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. And I seen that shit happen when they did that shit, man, before. But when we out here,
you talking about
when I was downtown at the Capitol,
yeah.
But when we out here, they want to laugh around by.
Yeah, these niggas, the fuck are they out here doing? I don't know what the fuck they talking about.
They don't look at us as being the and that's the trick right there. They don't look at us as being the people of the Lord, so they don't respect us as being the prophets. They talk
So
about
low.
that in Wisdom Solomon chapter 5.
Yep.
In Wisdom Solomon chapter 5, the strangeness of their salvation, they should be repenting, saying, this is he, them, or the saints of the Lord. They don't look at us as being that. You got something to say?
No, I was just saying that. That's like, because when they compare us to Abraham Lincoln, you know what I'm saying? Like, we on a low level, right? Compared to them, I mean, from their point of view. But really, we are the Lord's chosen people. And that's what people can't grasp, you feel me? Like, people just can't grasp that we are the Lord's chosen people, and it's a reason why he sent us out here, for us to be looked down on, but it's prophecy that we speaking, and so when it happened, then everybody chin gonna fall and hit the ground.
Yep. This is, well, back here, the 2/3. So the bitter part, of course, the bitter part. So I was like, man, 2/3 are gonna die? You know, that's sweet hearing about our enemies dying, but even with our enemies dying and going to slavery and captivity and seeing that small wiped off, it's gonna happen to our people too. You're gonna see a lot of our people getting tortured, just like you gotta watch those Purge movies. You're gonna see a lot of our people being tortured. You're gonna see a lot of families ripped up. You know, it speaks about that in Luke chapter 12. Families being divided and ripped up, man. You're gonna see a lot of brothers fall. You're gonna see brothers that's in the truth, the garments and fringes on. They're just gonna make their own decisions, man. They not gonna have that wisdom and that knowledge and that discernment to make the hard decisions, and they gonna make weak decisions, and it could cost them their lives. You know, it says the elect should scarcely be saved, man. I mean, you're gonna see a lot of people being put to death. That's bitter. Hearing about that, I know when I heard about it, I was like, man, that's scary. That's bitter, man.
Yeah. And it's gonna become the norm until the end. Like, you know, we don't know how long that shit gonna last. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but we don't believe that it's gonna last, you know, decades and nothing like that. But, you know, just getting to a point where every day you wake up, you either hearing somebody being butchered or killed or slaughtered,
It's been
or
that way
seeing
too.
it.
It's been
Yeah,
that way.
you know what I'm saying? But hey, it's gonna be scary.
I mean, yeah, you know, and that's just the bitter part of it. You got to prepare yourself. The Lord said he shall feed his people. Yeah, the Lord gonna feed his people, but that don't mean that you just gonna be eating super good. You still might go days without eating, but you just get just enough to stay alive, man. This is let me finish it off. Verse 9, it says, and I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined. So the 1/3 the Lord gonna bring, you got to go through the fire, you got to go through the tribulation. There is no pre-rapture, pre-tribulation rapture. You have to go through the tribulation. You got to go through the fire. How you doing, my brother?
Good.
Yeah, I remember you.
How you doing today?
I'm all right. You know, we just still let it, still
I
teach.
see that. I
Gotta keep going.
appreciate that.
We gotta keep going to the end. Yep. It says they should call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say it is my people, and they shall say the Lord is my God. And that's the sweet part. But you don't get the sweet parts You eat the Bible, you hear about the sweet parts first, and then you hear about the bitter parts. But in real life, you gonna get the bitter parts first, then we gonna get the sweet parts. You know. So I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah, the sweet part comes all the way at the end.
Yeah.
With salvation, when we
get the
salvation.
kingdom.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's gonna be bitter at first. What's up, my brother? You heard about this? The Hebrew Israelites? You never heard about the Hebrew Israelites? The only thing we out here teaching, man, is that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we are the Israelites by blood. We come from the same bloodline who the world calls Jesus Christ, but that ain't his name though, because the letter J wasn't invented. His mother was a Hebrew Israelite. His father was a Hebrew Israelite. They gave him a name in Hebrew. His name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, which means he delivers, he saves, because he's coming back to save us out of this fucking captivity that we in and destroy this fucking place. You see what I'm saying? And then he gonna take his chosen people. We supposed to be kings and priests on the earth. We know that, we feel that in our soul, but we don't have that in reality because we sinned against our Lord. So we was cursed and we was put into captivity. But our Lord is coming back to save us and set us up as kings, priests in the kingdom. You know, in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be in Jerusalem and Israel. That's our land. This our land too. You know, that's our land and this our land, but it was obviously, you know, stolen from us by his people. You know what I mean? So his people, which are called the Edomites, Caucasians in the Bible, they have a judgment that's coming for what they did. Get Revelation 13 verse 7. For what they did to us. They took us in slavery, so we gonna get to take them in slavery. They killed us with the sword, we gonna get to kill them with the sword. They divided and fucking conquered us, you know, pretty much set us against each other. You know, a lot of gangs and shit that you hear about, that shit started off as good things for our people. Our people coming together, the Black Panthers, GDs, Crips, that was people coming together for our people to help our neighborhoods out. They divided and conquered that shit to have us warring and killing against each other. We can't compete with the Asians. We can't compete with the fucking Ishmael, the Arabs that own the corner stores. They own the gas stations. They own the motherfucking car lots. We can't compete with them because we too busy going against each other. How we gonna compete with other nations if we fighting with each other? How could we stand if we divided against each other? You know, so while they living rich, you got a wealth gap, right? On one side of the wealth gap, the rich, which we know the west side of the town, who owns all those big ass houses and have the money? The Caucasians, his people. We live on this side of town, we got all the shitty shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's a wealth gap, but we on the bad side. And that's in every city you go to, there's a hood, there's a ghetto, and who's in those hoods and who's in those ghettos? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, but it breaks it down. Haitians, West Indians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. We are the Lord's chosen people. We're the 12 tribes of Israel by blood. You got that?
Yeah.
Revelation 13.
Revelation 13, starting at verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
They got power. They got power for a time because they got their kingdom. After their kingdom get destroyed, we gonna have our kingdom. So he made war with the saints. The saints is the Lord chosen people, and then they took us in slavery. They won, but we gonna win at the end. Keep going.
Verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of the life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the earth. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Any man have an ear, let him hear.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
So this is in the Bible. This is the part they don't teach you. Remember like that movie Birth of a Nation with Nat Turner?
Yeah.
When Nat Turner was a slave and they was trying to teach him the Bible, they was having him trying to teach the slaves the Bible in order to control them, us, right? But he woke up to the truth when he started reading the Bible for himself. So a lot of our people don't fuck with the Bible, they don't like the Bible, but that's because they don't read it and they don't understand it. Just like we did, you know. But when we got into it, we started to learn some shit that Nat Turner was learning. And what did Nat Turner do? He turned around and went against them. And turned around and started chopping their fucking heads off and fighting back until they caught him and killed them. Because he learned the truth. He read shit like Revelation 13. You got something?
No, I was just gonna say that's a true story.
Yep, true story. Hey, Shalom, brother.
Think on everything the brother told you, bro. That's truth.
You the Lord chosen people, man. You gotta follow our Lord so we can get up out of here, right? But hey, that's the bitter part.
Hey, but just within that little 5 minutes he was standing there, everything that he needed to hear, the basic, You gave it to
That's
him.
what it is. It's
I don't
not,
know if he consumed it,
yeah.
but you know.
And that's what I was
saying?
finna say. It's not for us to bring you in or wake you up. It's the Lord that's gonna do it. We just
Exactly.
messengers, man.
Exactly.
That's it. Maybe he didn't like the part about Nat Turner chopping their fucking heads off. But that's the truth. I'm not finna hold my tongue like it says in
Cry
Psalm-
aloud, spare not.
Go to Psalms chapter 40. I think like close to verse 7, but I gotta see it. I'm not finna hold my tongue because I wanna gain a brother and get the brother to come down here with it. I'm not finna do that. I'm gonna give you the truth, man. If you don't like the truth, if a part hits you and you don't like that certain part about Edomite's head getting cut off, this ain't for you. Because that's what's gonna happen to them, man. It happened to our people and it's gonna happen to our people again doing Jacob's trouble. So fuck that shit happening to them.
Yeah, I see it.
I'm not telling nobody to go do that. I'm just telling you what happened in history, right? Because he learned the truth. Keep going.
Okay, this Psalms 40, I'm gonna start at verse 7. Then said I, lo, I came in the volume of the book, it is written of me. I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yeah, thy law is within my heart. I have preached righteousness in the great congregation. Lo, I have not refrained my lips.
I have not refrained my lips. I'm not going to refrain my lips, man. I preach righteousness. What's righteousness? Revelation 13, starting at verse 9, that is righteousness. He that lead in captivity should go in captivity. That's righteous judgment.
Right. Yeah. O Lord, thy knowest, I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart. I have declared thy faithfulness and thy salvation. I have not concealed thy loving kindness and thy truth from the great congregation.
Right. Thy truth. So they teach the loving kindness, but they not teaching the truth. They refraining their lips. They're concealing certain parts.
Right.
You know, you get into these churches, they tell you the good things, like I just said when we first started. They tell you the loving kindness things, but they not giving you the full truth. They refraining their lips. If they eating the whole roll and they reading the whole Bible, they know the bitter things in there. But they not teaching the bitter things, but they teaching the sweet things so they can get a congregation most of the time so they can make money. They get paid. You know?
Right. So what does that mean? They're not doing the will of the Lord.
Yep.
They're doing the will of
Themselves.
Exactly.
Exactly. We got a little bit more Revelation.
Just one more verse. Revelations 10, verse 11. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings.
That's the end.
Yep.
And that's what we doing right now. Because John is reincarnated back teaching. It's possible. A lot of the prophets are back reincarnated teaching, right? And we out here teaching, you know? The prophets are out here again teaching between many people that came up because we had 3 brothers
Same
come up
spirits.
today. Yeah, and we taught them. We taught them the truth, whether they accept it or not. We gave them the truth. Everything we said was 100% true. That happened with Nat Turner. Revelation 13, verse 9 is a real thing that's going to happen, right? I mean, because when you read the prophecies, go along with it. When you read Isaiah 63. When you read Isaiah 34. When you read Isaiah 14, that's what it's talking about. Isaiah 14 goes along with it perfect. That's what it's talking about. Them led us in captivity. We're going to take them in captivity. It literally says they should take captives who they were captives of. Same thing. Precept upon precept. That's how you break down the Bible. So that's the end. Revelation chapter 10. You know, we're going to leave it there. We're going to give all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.